Hello again. My alarm brought notice to me that it's time to make another video. This time I didn't forget though, so I actually decided to make it. Um, it's November. At least it's the end of the first week of November. And as far as everything goes, I'm actually progressing pretty well. I will outline first why, or what I'm doing well and why. Uh, just gonna go over monthly goals. Everything else is pretty much the same. So the first thing, never mind. The first thing that I have down is the pornography goal because particularly after November, that was the most pertinent thing. And I decided I was discussing last month how I wanted to instead do a sort of referral type thing where if I spent enough days abstaining, I was able to use that one day to do what I'd like. And while I was discussing doing 3 days, since that seemed to be close to my maximum, I decided to go with 2 days to try and ease myself into the system. And I'm also starting to realize that by the end of November, it was a bit messy in terms of how long I was able to continue going. So I feel like this easing is good, and so far I haven't had any issues with it. I did notice that if I tried to maybe it's just I'll put a bit of a disclaimer, but maybe it's just because I've set the expectation. But whenever I try to go for more than 2 days, it gets a little bit more difficult. Obviously, this is my first attempt at it. As a matter of fact, this would be the second day, and then tomorrow would be a day that I'm allowed to use. But um, so far, it's gone good, and based off of the first part, I predict that I should be able to do 2 days with no problem. For the rest, if I succeed flawlessly with this, hell, maybe even going a little further beyond. Actually, no. If I succeed at all, I'm just gonna go ahead and next month do 3 days. If I fail during that, I'll just keep doing it and persevering until an inevitable success, and just pump it up each and every time until it's not a problem. That's ideally, I don't expect it to go nearly as cleanly as that. I hope it does, but don't expect it to. So, yeah, that's the whole idea I've got going for that right now. Like I said, I'm succeeding pretty well. Um, actually resisting for a set amount of days, and this sort of referral thing kind of works for me, and I feel like it'll start to work more as I work better as I go higher and higher until inevitably I hit maybe like 7 days. I'll do that for 1 month, and then I will try to I will try to put it down to like once a week, and then just eliminate entirely. That way, hopefully, I can make it. I've already made resisting a bit habitual. That works. I just with this, I'm actually trying to sort of build up actual resistance and willpower. Then we have eating goal, eat 3 times a day. I have actually succeeded. I didn't expect to do that, but I have been I've been pretty persistent with it, and actually I haven't done it today, so I definitely got to do it today. But so far it's been good. I just gotta not fuck up during the weekend. Um, and my sleeping goal is the same as last month. I just want to be in bed by 11. And hopefully I can at the very least get it to 9 o'clock because that seems to be a relatively regular time that a lot of people go to sleep at. So I'm at least happy that I'm not going to bed past, or I'm at least happy that I'm not in bed past midnight or getting ready to go to bed past midnight. I'm glad that I'm keep sticking to the 11 o'clock. It also helps that both of my friends are ahead of me, so I can just use my time and if they don't feel like it, I have plenty of time to ready myself or do something to ease myself into going to bed beforehand. So that's pretty helpful. Um, Other than that, those are the goals. Like I said, everything's going pretty well so far. And there is one thing that I've kind of fucked up on, which is I have not been doing my schoolwork in lieu of hanging out with my friends over online, which is a fucking problem, especially since it's the end. This is my final. I think that is literally directly, no, I don't think. That is directly responsible for the reason why my current rough draft for my last, like, prepared essay for my English class is just straight up unfinished. And at this point, I'm going to get whatever peer review I can from my colleague, one of my peers, and then I'm going to finish it. And after that, I'm going to ask one of my friends to peer review it, make any revisions that I think need to be made, and then actually turn it in. Gonna have to compensate for my fuck up. And then another fuck up I made was just straight up not checking the time. It happened yesterday, and I had a couple of assignments that I totally could have finished, but I time literally passed me by. I looked at my phone. It didn't even register with me that it was 9 o'clock. So just yeah, I ended up fucking up there. I don't want to make that same mistake. I gotta prioritize schoolwork over playing with friends, even if it's to the detriment. I can't. That's a major mistake I made. I don't want to make it next semester, and hopefully I can actually do better next semester. Even when I'm down in the dumps, I can still just go do what I need to. So yeah, trying to also keep it a bit chill at the end of the semester too, because there's not too much I need to do. My science and gov classes are going to be really easy. Art history and English are the only ones that I'm actually having some form of trouble with because they have me doing actual projects like this current essay and then and then one more essay for my English class, which is more just a reflection essay, which shouldn't be too tough. I'm basically already doing it here, so if I really need to, I can just go back into like what September when my class started and just watch like all of my videos because I have been mentioning a bunch of stuff about how the college proceedings have been going, so that's really great for me. And then for art history, I just got to do the research and jot that shit down. Shouldn't take too much time, but every time I say that, it proceeds to take way more time than I than I think it needs. So, but at least I have the benefit of the doubt with always turning my things in on like the last day. Hell, sometimes even the last possible moment when I already have it done. I just like making last minute checks, giving myself enough time to think. It's more so I just want to keep it on hold until the last possible moment, there's still, even when it's pretty much just done. But aside from that, I don't really have too much else to comment on, aside from just being down because every time I see stuff happen in the world, it just frustrates me more and more. Not even because of it's literally just because I can't do anything. I wish I could do more. It frustrates me infinitely less when it's something I can control because, well, shit. Next time, don't make that happen. Next time, don't make it an issue, which I guess is a difference because I remember kind of screwing up or kind of breaking down when I screwed up initially, but like I learned something, move on. At least with me, it's in my control. The only time I start getting mad at stuff like that is when it starts to feel like it's not in my control and I'm sort of in a loop, which at that point, take a step back, cool off, let it be in your control again. But I can't help but get mad at things that aren't in my control, or at least that I have absolutely no influence over. And it's frustrating. There's a lot of stuff I'd want to do, but I don't have the power. Not like I really want the power. I much prefer strength. to power, and strength takes a long time to build up. And I guess I'm currently in the process of doing that, but man, it's it's hell. It's hell, man. I find it harder and harder to believe that this planet isn't just filled with mini pockets of hell, not just for the human race, but for the planet itself. And it gets difficult to tackle that shit, especially with who I knew myself as beforehand and where I was before. It gives me a lot to reflect on that kind of scares the shit out of me. I was definitely a part of the edgy demographic that could be taken advantage of and stripped of all empathy and really every emotion except for anger and maybe a bit of bitterness. It's it's scary that that was an actual outcome for me, and hell, it still is. The way I am now, I'm still rather bitter and mad. I try not to display it too much because I don't want to make my problems other people's problems. I don't want to make my emotions other people's problems. It's kind of gross to me. Sometimes I can't help it. It is what it is, but I don't like dragging other people into my issues, and vice versa. I expect other people not to drag me into their issues. If they want help, they just have to ask for it. But don't drag me in involuntarily. Um, but yeah, dealing with a lot of stuff. It's it's terrible. A friend of mine told me that I need a moment of peace, and I have plenty of moments of peace. That's why I try to fill them with all of the issues that aren't peaceful. I have a lot of moments of peace. It just gets a tad overwhelming sometimes. It's more of a habit than something I willingly do. If it was something I willingly did, I probably wouldn't be I probably wouldn't be able to I'd probably be able to contain myself a lot easier, but you know, it's more habitual, so I can't do too much about it besides try to break it. The only unfortunate fact of that matter is that I have absolutely no idea how to break that habit, and I can deal with it. I'm currently strong enough to be capable of dealing with it, so just calm down, take a step back, try not to let it bother me as much. I'm not going to be desensitized to shit like this because I won't let myself. I can't help but reset myself back to zero a lot of the time. Like I literally just can't. It's just something I do. I I cannot risk losing my empathy or just overall my emotions. I don't want to risk going back to who I was. That was that was a bad time, and it was turning me into a bad person. But that's just not happening no more, which is really nice. So, aside from that, I'm going to try to end off this semester strong. It ends next week, and I'm going to take a nice little break, reset myself, and then I'm going to try to do my next semester incredibly strong. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it flawlessly. I don't think I'm capable of a flawless execution even at my best. So, I'm going to try to do it as perfectly as I can. And that I'll see myself next time.